Okay. My name is Albania. I work in the Ministry of Interior of Albania in migration issues. Migration is a dynamic and very important process for the whole society. Taking the necessary measures and the will to address the challenges that its governance presents always deserve the primary attention of states, both at the national level and in the context of international obligations, as migration is a global phenomenon. The government of Albania, under the direction of the Ministry of Interior, has drafted the National Strategy for Migration 1922 and its action plan. This document actually is being implemented with the support of International Organization for Migration through various projects. The vision of the strategy is to provide a comprehensive and complete answer to the challenges and opportunities of migration in the context of Albania, always in the spirit of the global migration process and the process of Albania's integration into the European Union. The National Strategy for Migration is organized in four main objectives: the strength of institution and legislation in order to govern migration, management of migratory flows from, through, and to Albania, migration for employment, and protection of migrant rights and their integration. For the implementation of the strategy, we have set up a consolidated coordination and monitoring mechanism consisting in a technical committee for migration and the migration steering group. The strategy envisages a series of measures related to one of the most sensitive issues for our country, the unfounded asylum application of Albanian citizens in the EU countries. Pursuant to the obligation foreseen in the strategy for conducting awareness campaigns, the Ministry of Interior, in cooperation with the International Organization for Migration, IOM, and other responsible institutions, have implemented during the period January-December 2020 the project Prevention of Migration from Albania to the Member States of European Union follow-up campaign, funded by the Kingdom of Netherlands. Also, in March 26, under the coordination of the Ministry of Interior and IOM Albania, started the project Rise All, funded by the European Union. The project will have a duration of 24 months. The project will carry out activities in 12 regions in Albania, as well as in Belgium and Netherlands, to raise awareness on safe and ordinary migration. Effective response to the irregular migration of Albanian citizens to EU member states by the Ministry of Interior and other responsible institutions through the implementation of appropriate measures to prevent irregular migration has led to a significant reduction in the number of applications during the year 2020. 600 applications compared to 2,300 of the year 2019. There is also a significant decline in the number of asylum applications in France and Germany, two of the countries most affected by this phenomenon in the recent years. During the years 1920, the cooperation and exchange of information has significantly increased, especially with countries affected by the abused asylum of Albanian citizens, such as Italy and France, showing the high level of commitment of Albania in respecting the condition of the free movement. This reflected in declining trend in the number of returned citizens, reflect the strengthening of control over the exit of citizens, but also their awareness as a result of awareness campaigns and through distributed information in the border points for this purpose. On October 2018, Albania signed an agreement with the European Union on cooperation in border management between Albania and the European Border and Coast Guard Frontex, becoming the first country in the Western Balkans to start implementing such cooperation. This agreement allows the border agency to coordinate operational cooperation between EU member states and Albania in the management of the EU external borders. Albania approved the Global Compact on Migration during the Intergovernmental Conference of Marrakesh in December 18 and is very committed to implementing its objectives, also because our country has previously faced migration flows. Global Compact is already involved in migration management policy in the country. The Ministry of Interior is the main government institution in charge of migration policy, has made numerous efforts to inform the relevant stakeholders about the context and objectives of the Global Compact. At the end of the last year, with the support of IOM, we have prepared the voluntary review report on the implementation status of the Global Compact on Migration in Albania for the period 1920. The report focuses on the status of implementation of the 23 Global Compact objectives, with a particular focus on an innovative policy and promising practices related to this objective. Migration legislation has undergone a number of important improvements, where I would mention the drafting of the new law on foreigners, finalized in December 20 by the Intergovernmental Working Group. And this draft law is in the process of approval from the Parliament. The draft law on foreigners will facilitate the management of regular migration and the fight against irregular migration. The fight against irregular migration is also one of the requirements with the process of accession to the European Union. The draft law aims to improve the field of rights of foreigners in terms of protection of migrants and their family members, refugees, asylum seekers, and guarantee access to the integration programs and services for foreigners. The draft law also provided for the definition of the integrated work and residence permit as the only permit issued by the Albanian authorities and enable foreigners to stay and work in the Republic of Albania. In accordance with the provisions of the law, during the 2020 was drafted and approved the extended national migration profile for the years 15 to 20. The extended national migration profile reflects the migratory developments in the country during the period of 4 years. Analyzing the migration situation and trends in Albania, the migratory movements of Albanian citizens, their characteristics, as well as the driving and attractive factors of Albanian migration for this period. This report also reflects the situation of return migration, as well as reintegration and social protection services provided by the responsible structure in our country. The Ministry of Interior will continue to be committed to ensuring a safe and orderly migration. Thank you very much for the attention.
Thank you, Mr. Hadji, and thank you for presenting us the strategies of the Albanian government on migration and the great work you are doing for monitoring and setting up all instruments for migration. Thank you for your contribution. Now I want to pass the floor to Ersian Gripshi, Field Coordinator, Anti-Trafficking and Migration Department of Caritas Albania. He will speak on the Caritas experience on migration. Thank you, Ersian, for being here. Ersian, do you hear me? Okay. Just unmute yourself.
Okay. Do you hear me now?
Okay.
Okay, great.
Thank you. Thank you very much for being here.
Hello, everyone. Here is Ersian Gripshi, Field Coordinator of Anti-Trafficking and Migration Department in Caritas Albania. Firstly, before I begin, let me thank the organizers for this meeting. Albanian Caritas has since 2015 contributing to the migration field. We closely cooperate with UNHCR, United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, as one of the main partners in Albania. Due to its geographical position, Albania for several years has become a transit country and destination for mixed migrant groups that come mainly from war countries, but also from North Africa and travel to the EU countries. During this period, there has been a significant increase in the number of foreign nationals entering in Albanian territory, mainly from Greece, as well as an increase in the number of asylum applications. We are located in Korça, near Kapshtica border point, because, as we know, it's one of the areas with the largest new arrivals of migrants in Albania. Our staff is located also in Gjirokastra, near Kagavia border point. Also in Durrës and Tirana should be noted that in Durrës is one of the most frequented cities for migrants, as it offers access to reach Italy through the harbor. We are also located in the north of Albania, in Shkoder and A4EUS, two cities that have border points respectively with Montenegro and Kosovo. The staff of Caritas Albania works in close cooperation with Albanian Border and Immigration Police, based on an agreement with Ministry of Interior of Albania. Also, we work close with local authorities such as social services and regional hospitals. Our main focus areas there are direct assistance of migrants, protection, coordination meeting and training with local authorities, improving governmental infrastructure. Direct assistance means awareness raising on migrants' rights, delivery of food items, including food packages or hot meals, delivery of hygienic items, delivery of non-food items, accommodation, translation. Arabic interpreters are also part of our staff. They are located in border points and assist the border and migration police during the pre-screening procedures, transport from the border areas to national reception center and health institutions, provision of medicine for persons with medical needs. Regarding protection, we advocate for the protection of rights by focusing on vulnerable children and women, unaccompanied minors, persons with medical needs, elderly people too. We organize coordination meetings and training with local authorities, training on improving protection for mixed group migrants, training on child protection issues, training on the identification of persons with specific needs among migrants, improving coordination of local institutions to respond to the needs of migrants. Improving governmental infrastructures also is one of the main focus area of Caritas Albania. With the support of UNHCR, we have improved the structure of the border crossing points in Kapshtica as one of the central points of entry of migrants in the country. The accommodation facilities have been renovated and we continue to hard support them with direct services for mixed migrant groups. As Pope Francis writes in the preface of the book Light on the Roads of Hope, migrants travel is not always a happy experience, and therefore Caritas Albania continue to work by supporting the border and migration police in terms of reception, accommodation, especially in case of families with children. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Gripschi, for your intervention, and thank you for the overview on the migration situation and migration routes. We know that you cover all the borders of Albania on this issue and with your full assistance. Thank you for your great support. Thank you. Now I pass the floor to Mr. Kastriot Faci. He's the director of the DOOR NGO located here in Shkoder, and he will speak about challenges of intern migration. Mr. Faci, the floor is for you.
Okay. Good morning. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, very good. I would like to congratulate everyone and greet everyone on this meeting, online meeting. It would be really nice to meet everyone, but it's also nice to share now our common ideas about this very important and interesting topic. I would like to congratulate also the two other panelists that brought to us the attention regarding migration and immigration issues. Let me start with some historical facts regarding internal migration. After the Second War, Albania was settled as a communist country, so the immigration was forbidden, and it was considered like a penal act. According to the law, people were punished to go to jail if they tried to move out of Albania. And the years 1961, 1990 are considered as the most total isolation years for Albania, and also the internal migration in the country, it was very controlled. Passing from the centralized economy towards the market economy, this was accompanied by the closing of all the state enterprises, almost all, and all the cooperatives, which were located on the rural areas and mountain areas. So the economical difficulties have been also accompanied by political instability, which also had a powerful impact on the Albanians' migratory flows. Since 1991, when the system changed, the Albanians got the freedom, let me say, to choose their professional and their living place. So this has been accompanied by the great movements from the mountain area and rural area towards the great urban areas of the country. And of course, this with an only aim to have a better life. In fact, if we're referring the internal migration studies, we say that Tirana is the most affected town in Albania, which is the top in all the country. In the meanwhile, Korça and Shkoder also had migration, internal migration, but this more lower than comparing to Tirana, but of course more higher comparing to smaller towns like Leja, neighborhood Leja, or other Laci and so on. I would like to say that the problematics of the people when they move, I mean, they had to face the poverty and unemployment. They are both very big problem for Albania after years 90. According to my experience, the law 7,501 for the ground, which was approved in year 1991, has fostered the reform of the land, agriculture land privatization. So by giving the rights to the people from rural zones to self-employment and also to take profit out of the land. But such a reform, in fact, didn't solve out the problem of unemployment, especially on the rural zones in the villages. So the people have to escape from this and to find a way to have a better life and better success. In fact, by moving from their homes and their rural zones, these people, these families, they brought also their tradition and the mentality of the zone, because they have been living in a close community, basing, for example, in the canoe, which was something that they inherited it from their way of living and their families from before. So sometimes they were affected also, bringing the same phenomenon in Shkoder. Anyway, I think by moving towards urban areas, people also has established, let me say, informal living zones, because they were coming in a zone that there were not any urbanistic study. So if we are referring one of the challenges, which is shelter, for example, they were settled in the zones, informal zones, that the total infrastructure was missing. Let me say they have no road, they have no sanitary, no electricity, nothing. Just start with a small, very small cottage, and then they start thinking about building a bigger house, improving the conditions for their family members. If I can share the family in two groups, let me say children and parents. And if I'm referring to the parents, the man in the house, of course, had a better chance for getting a work, and this because of the building process, because even if they have no skills on such a profession, they have to learn by doing, and they have to assist some masters. So it was easy for them to find a job. But in the meanwhile, this situation was not in favor of the women, because the women have to be inside and to look for their children and to take care for the family. Of course, the children also are part of the family, and they also have been infected by these migratory movements. And for them, it has been more difficult, I would say, because facing different life, different culture in the big urban areas, for them it hasn't been easy, because there is a clash of cultures, and sometimes they have been on focus for being at a risk for social exclusion, and also school dropping, especially the girls, because the girls are more vulnerable comparing to the men, because the family always give more space for male children comparing to the female. And of course, we as an organization have given our contribution, and we are very proud of what we've been doing in order to address shelter and to facilitate. For example, we have facilitated 10 families in the rural area of Zootechnica. Former Zootechnica is part of Shkoder now, but still there is a lot of work going on. For example, there is still not any water supply from the state enterprise. There is not any road. They are just building now the road access to the quarter. But we have so far provide also with our activities, especially with children, because that's our main, but also trying to include their mother. So in the year 2000, we started the first social center with the funding of the World Bank, and on the topic it was the women, the mothers, and the children. So we have had a great impact towards the awareness of the children's right and the women's right. And of course, it was also a matter of anti-trafficking programs and other socializing activities. We also have supported those families with food and clothing and other housing equipment and so. But we have done it through other activities like summer school for children of this community, football teams for boys and girls, and in improving the infrastructure on the periphery school by the project called Open School, Healthy School Serving the Community. Another program is called No Child Left Out, and Play for Peace, Play Football for Peace, and Fall Game Fest. So recently we have two projects which is implementing right now, and we are empowering the youth to self-employment or to prepare them with life skills for the trade for the market. and also hiking clubs for socializing children coming from this area to be part of the nature and social activities. Again, I would like to say that this is a challenge that continues because it looks like it still hasn't settled 100%. We have families that live here, but maybe their official address and papers is located in still in the mountains. And I hope this will end soon, and we all have to focus and to work on this topic. I would like to thank you for your attention and also for giving me the word on this important panel today. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Fatih. Thank you for your experience. Thank you for sharing with us the historical facts on migration in communism period, as we know that attendees, maybe some of them didn't have the experience and didn't have the, I don't know, maybe they didn't hear about that. We heard about people that have to face unemployment and poverty as they have moved without planning, and different cities are overpopulated. So there are challenges for the government to support this unplanned immigration, and these challenges are, let's say, supported by NGOs like yours, because we are every day in touch and we know how much the NGOs contribute on these issues. Thank you for the contribution to the panel today.
Thank you.
We have passed from the strategies to the Caritas experience on migration and the immigration, intern migration. Now I want to give the floor to Fra Angelo de Padova, because Beltoia parish, where he is settled now, has a great experience in supporting migrants. When we go to Tirana or coming from Tirana, we see that great sign that he invites migrants to have lunch or dinner at his parish. So we'd love to hear from you, Frangelo, your experience on this issue. The floor is for you.
Arta? Non riusciamo a farlo entrare nel panelist, quindi dovresti chiedergli di uscire e rientrare, lo rimettiamo nel panelist, perché c'è un problema tecnico e non riusciamo a inserirlo.
He's connected through the phone. I don't know if this is a problem, let's say, because in Albania happens that sometimes the electricity is off, so now he is facing this issue. It's rarely happening, but today it's happening, so. Frangelo? No. I really wanted him to speak about this experience as when we noticed, because in Albania there are some strong laws, let's say, on illegal immigration. So I am not saying that he's breaking the law offering them this meal, but he's doing a great job in supporting the migrants, at least because we saw them passing maybe on foot in the main roads, and this parish is doing a great job. I don't know, maybe he can't connect. I don't know if... Frangelo, are you hearing me? Mi stai sentendo? Mi senti?
Sì, Arta, ti sento. Lui è collegato, però è come se non fosse in questo momento davanti al PC, capito?
Al telefono, credo che...
Sarà al telefono?
Sì, al telefono.
È collegato al telefono?
Sì.
Allora, se lui ci rispondesse, noi dovremmo chiedergli di uscire, ricollegarsi e io lo reinserisco nel panelist.
Solo un attimo. Datemi solo un minuto.
Ok, Arta. Arta? Arta?
Okay, I see
Ok,
him now.
Angelo De Padova è adesso nel panel.
Ok.
Eccomi.
Sì, senti?
Mi senti?
Sì.
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno Angelo.
Guarda, io non ti sento. Mi senti?
Benvenuto.
Mi senti? Ok, io parlo.
Ok,
Ok, mi senti?
sì.
Buongiorno a tutti.
Ok.
La mia parrocchia si trova sulla strada principale Tirana-Scutari. Devo tradurre?
Yes, I'll start now. Just one moment that the girl, we have an excellent girl here in Shkoder that is helping us today with translating, and she will translate to you, but I'm inviting her here with me because maybe she is not in the panelists, so it's not possible to make her. Andriola? We are ready, Frangelo.
Allora, la mia parrocchia... Ciao.
Ciao.
La mia parrocchia si trova sulla strada principale Tirana-Scutari, 80 km da Tirana.
His parish is found in the principal road in Shkoder.
Ho accolto gli immigrati in questa parrocchia perché vedevo immigrati stanchi, affamati.
He has placed or has been brought in a lot of immigrants because they have always been very perished, they have been very sick and very tired.
Ho messo un cartello sulla strada principale in lingua araba e inglese dicendo chi ha bisogno di un letto, di cibo, di lavarsi può venire qui tranquillamente.
He's put a card on his place on the street that has said whoever is quenched or whoever wants to drink water or eat food, he can come by to his place.
Allora gli albanesi che vedevano questi migranti sulla strada li indirizzavano qui prima di arrivare a Scutari.
Whoever saw every person from Shkoder, these immigrants come in, they address them to Father Angelo Padova.
La prima cosa che chiedevano era mangiare qualcosa di caldo.
The first thing they asked was to eat something that was warm or hot.
Poi gli facevano fare la pulizia del corpo e degli abiti, una doccia, quindi vestiti nuovi.
They wanted to take a shower and wanted to get dressed with new clothes.
La medicazione delle ferite ai piedi, perché molti usavano scarpe rovinate, scarpe non adatte al viaggio.
They wanted to wear new shoes because the shoes that they were wearing were ruined from walking all the way there.
E dopo dormivano per un giorno intero.
And after that they would sleep for one whole day.
Perché erano stanchi dal lungo viaggio, da Tirana fino a Scutari non c'era un luogo dove accogliere questi fratelli.
Because they were really tired from traveling from Tirana to Shkoder because there was no other way they could get there only by feet.
Una volta rinforzati, nutriti, puliti, quando volevano potevano lasciare il luogo, la parrocchia, e andare verso il Montenegro.
Once they would get fed and not tired anymore, so they would sleep all the time, they could start off their day and leave and go to another place.
Abbiamo accolto bambini senza genitori, abbiamo accolto ragazzi davvero stanchi che desideravano arrivare in Europa.
We have gotten kids that were without their parents and they're really tired because they wanted to leave their place and go to Europe to immigrate.
La prima cosa che dicevo loro, qui è casa vostra.
The first thing Father Angelo De Padova would say was that this was their home.
Quindi non prendevo i documenti, non comunicavo alla polizia per farli lasciare tranquilli e sereni e non con la paura di essere scoperti.
He would not ask for their documents. He would not contact the police at all. He would just welcome them into his home.
Anche se la polizia sapeva di questo centro di accoglienza per immigrati.
Even if the police knew that this place is used for that reason.
E gli offrivo la possibilità di connettersi con internet, con i loro paesi.
He would give them the chance to connect through internet with their home places, with their home countries.
Tutto questo l'ho fatto perché io 2 anni fa ho fatto il cammino di Santiago di Compostela a piedi.
One of the reasons that he did this is because he had the chance to travel a long way from
the Santiago.
Sono messo nei loro panni. Cosa ha bisogno uno che fa tanta strada per tanti giorni a piedi?
He knows their struggle because he knows that walking along the street can take a lot out of you, and he wants to help people who do that.
Ha bisogno di lavarsi, di mangiare, di dormire, di sentirsi in un luogo protetto durante la notte.
People need a shower, to eat, and to get energized and the first thing they need is they need to be protected throughout the night because they haven't had that.
Questo dava loro tranquillità, serenità. All'inizio erano spaventati.
This gave them tranquility and serenity because the first time they came there, they were out of their minds. They were really tired.
Ma dopo, vedendo il luogo accogliente, gente che li voleva davvero bene senza guardare alla religione o al colore, erano più tranquilli e sereni.
They were really calm there because no one would ask them about their religion or where they came from, and no one would judge them for that.
Mia madre mi disse un giorno,
his mother told him one time,
figlio mio, se trovi per strada un povero, un ammalato, un rifugiato che ti chiede aiuto,
my son, if you see someone on the street that is poor, that is a refugee who needs your help,
pensa che sono io tua madre ad aiutarti.
Think that I am your mother that helps you.
E quindi un figlio deve aiutare sua madre.
And this way, a kid needs to help his mother.
Quindi ho sentito ogni persona che qui è venuta come se fosse mia madre, mio padre, mio fratello, da trattare con i guanti d'oro, diciamo in italiano.
So he thought that every refugee that came there, he thought of them as his own mother or his own father, and this way he would welcome them and make them feel calm.
Tutto questo è stato possibile anche grazie agli abitanti della parrocchia, del villaggio, che portavano cibo, aiuti alimentari per sfamare questi nostri fratelli.
All this is also thanks to people that live in the village that would give them food, that would give them a place, and that would give them monetary help.
Dopodiché, una volta rinforzati, partivano per il Montenegro.
And after that, after they were energized and they were ready to go, they went to Montenegro.
Alcuni sono stati rimpatriati dal Montenegro, sono ritornati indietro.
Some people were stuck in Montenegro and they managed to return back to Shkoder or Shkoder.
E hanno preso la strada del Kosovo.
And they followed their way to Kosovo.
Ora la tratta Tirana-Scutari c'è molto di meno gente.
People in Shkoder are very welcoming and they...
Perché Allegia, gli zingari, i gabeli, li trasportano con le loro macchine
there are less
da
people
Allegia fino a Naupli.
And they a lot of people help them transport them to other places by car or by other means of transportation.
Grazie.
Thank you.
Thank you, Giulia. Thank you, Frangelo. It was really a must to hear you, the presentation, because as I said at the beginning, we have seen the sign in the main road Tirana-Shkoder in Arab language and in English language. So we know that it's not legal, but we really thank you for the great work you are doing, for the great support you are giving to these people that are really struggling with their lives and to try to start a new life in Europe. I know that it's difficult for everyone, but I really love your attitude. I really love your support. Thank you very much. Now we have, let's say, concluded our event with this beautiful testimony of Fra Angelo. And as I said, we have, I thank really very much Mr. Hagi for the great, let's say, overview for the Albanian government strategies and great projects that they are implementing, for Caritas support in all borders, for the migration, illegal migration. I know that, okay, they are doing this great support to people. And we could not speak about intermigration because we are working with local NGOs here in Shkoder, but in the whole Albania, to support people that are migrating internally, let's say. And this great experience of Fra Angelo to close this public event that I think gave us a really beautiful overview, a great overview of what's happening in Albania. I don't know, Fabio, I really thank you for this opportunity to organize this public event. It was a really great challenge, but it was a great event for us. I don't know if you want to say something at the end, or we conclude like this.
Thank you, Arta. Thank you. Thank you. Grazie a tutti per la partecipazione, e grazie per il tuo straordinario impegno e grazie per la testimonianza straordinaria di Fra Angelo de Padova, che parla di una solidarietà autentica e non la lingua burocratica dell'Unione Europea, che spesso, come dire, non sa affrontare come potrebbe e dovrebbe i temi dell'immigrazione.
Okay, thank you for having you in other meetings. Thank you for your contribution. Goodbye. Have a nice day. Bye.
Grazie, pace a voi.